What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. Well, unfortunately, Marvel Studios has officially delayed Avengers Doomsday and in turn, Avengers Secret Wars. They have also seriously adjusted their release date schedule, removing some dates from their calendar, but positioning other movies in really good slots now. And this actually changes everything for Spider-Man Brand New Day and Spider-Man being in Avengers Doomsday. So although this is kind of bad news, of course, we have to wait longer to get Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, I do think there is a lot of good to come out of this change. If you've been following our videos and keeping up with the channel, then you know that I think when Marvel Studios decides to delay projects, it's not always a bad thing, but can be a really good thing. And of course, we'll break it down in this video, but let's go over this report from Variety announcing the delays and giving us our new release dates. The title of it reads, Avengers Delayed. Marvel pushes Doomsday and Secret Wars to December 2026 and 2027. It continues, the Avengers will need a few more months to assemble. Disney has delayed the release of Marvel Studios' upcoming team-up feature, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Doomsday is now set to debut on December 18th, 2026, moving about 7 months off of its originally slated date of May 1st, 2026. So this is obviously very unfortunate. We're going to have to wait 7 more months to get Avengers Doomsday, and in turn, this does push back Secret Wars as well. We'll get into that. But unfortunately, this was kind of suspected because Marvel Studios was set to begin filming at a certain time, and when that time came, they hadn't begun filming. In fact, it would be several weeks later until we even started to see some set designs appear. Now, we have seen photos of the Avengers cast, some of them all together, so we know they are there on set, but clearly they have run into some delays, and I think I might know what some of those delays are. And we'll get into that, but let's talk about Secret Wars. The article continues and says, to match the follow-up, Avengers Secret Wars, is moving its release date to December 17th of 2027 after previously being set for May 7th of 2027. So both of the movies have essentially been delayed by 7 months each. The article continues, Disney announced both Avengers delays Thursday afternoon, today, alongside a sweeping reorganization of its coming theatrical slate. Notably, the new calendar saw the studio remove several unannounced Marvel titles off of its calendar. The date of February 13th, 2026, previously slotted for an untitled Marvel project, has been removed from the schedule. Meanwhile, the dates of November 6th, 2026 and November 5th, 2027, also both previously set for untitled Marvel features, have been amended to simply Untitled Disney films. So no longer Untitled Marvel, but Disney now. They state, with those changes, Avengers Doomsday and Sony's Spider-Man Brand New Day are now the only Marvel Cinematic Universe entries slated to hit theaters in 2026. Additionally, the July 31st, 2026 release of the 4th Tom Holland Spider-Man entry now precedes the release of Doomsday. And this is huge, and this is a part of the reason that I thought the delay might happen. Because to be honest, this makes a lot more sense. The script for Spider-Man Brand New Day has gone through a lot of different changes, and one of the big reasons that it went through so many different changes is because while originally it was supposed to come out before Avengers Doomsday due to scheduling, they had to move it to release after Avengers Doomsday, which severely affected the script because now in the MCU, in the timeline, Spider-Man Brand New Day would take place after Avengers Doomsday, which in turn would have to make Spider-Man Brand New Day a pretty big multiversal film, assuming that Doctor Doom wins at the end of Avengers Doomsday, and the multiverse either starts to be destroyed and everything starts to collapse, or it does completely get destroyed and we end up on Battleworld, which we had heard was Marvel Studios' plans to have everything that takes place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars be set on Battleworld, which basically gave them a problem for Spider-Man Brand New Day. What was once supposed to be a pretty grounded and street level film, all of a sudden had to be a pretty big multiversal film, which we heard that's what Sony wanted, but Marvel Studios wanted the grounded film. Then we started to hear that Spider-Man Brand New Day might be like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a movie that takes place after Avengers Doomsday, but in the events of the MCU's timeline, they'll basically show us what is happening with Spider-Man before and during the events of Avengers Doomsday, with the ending and or post-credit scene show us how he gets involved with Avengers Secret Wars. So not the most ideal situation. Plus, this seemingly certainly made it kind of hard for Spider-Man to appear in Avengers Doomsday. And considering how Spider-Man just in general is one of the most popular characters, if not the most popular character of all time for superheroes, Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU is one of the major players, so it would make sense that Marvel Studios would want him in Avengers Doomsday, and the last we heard, they were actually working out a contract with Tom Holland to appear in Avengers Doomsday. But again, the story of Spider-Man Brand New Day was severely affected by Brand New Day coming out before Avengers Doomsday. So now we get to the delays. Not only does this decision to push Doomsday back by 7 months and Secret Wars back by 7 months, not only does it make Spider-Man Brand New Day come out before Avengers Doomsday to where that cleans up the story to where they can do whatever they want with it now and not be pigeonholed, but it also gives Marvel Studios more time to work on Avengers Doomsday and to work on Avengers Secret Wars. And this, to me, is typically a really good thing. Just think about the cast that they announced for Avengers Doomsday so far. It's already massive, and they confirmed that there are more cast members to be announced. It's going to get even bigger. Kevin Feige already stated that in this film, we're going to have the Avengers, and now we know there's 2 Avengers teams, the new Avengers, who are the Thunderbolts, and then Sam Wilson's Avengers team. So the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Wakandans, Kevin Feige said, are showing up. The Fantastic Four are going to be in our universe pretty soon. And then you have the original X-Men. That's already massive. This is a film, and Avengers Secret Wars as well, that needs time. It needs care. And it's definitely not something that can be rushed. And we actually heard not too long ago from insider Daniel RPK that the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely weren't completely done writing the script. There are still some things that they were trying to figure out or make connect better or just make better in general. And again, that's always a good thing, getting something better than what's already there. So this is good. It gives them more time to focus on making Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars great. And it also in turn gives them more time to work on the new X-Men film, which we know is coming pretty quickly after Avengers Secret Wars, but it seems like one of the dates that was removed could have been for the new X-Men movie. Most likely that November 5th slot that was moved for 2027. The November 6th slot for 2026, that still could very well be dedicated to a Marvel film, but perhaps Marvel had plans to do a project like Shang-Chi 2 or maybe even a Scarlet Witch movie, who we recently heard a report from an insider that it might come out in 2028, so perhaps the Scarlet Witch movie was originally in that slot but has now been moved, or maybe again a project like Shang-Chi has been moved as well. No doubt affected by the story that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to tell, because that will affect Avengers Doomsday. The great news is Spider-Man Brand New Day can be whatever Marvel Studios wants it to be now. There are no restrictions, and this makes it to where Tom Holland can be in Avengers Doomsday much more easily because he is filming the Odyssey and basically has a lot going on with filming with Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday. It's a lot. But now with the schedule being a lot more accommodable for Tom Holland, he can appear in Doomsday and have a lot more screen time than originally would have been planned. So although I do hate that we have to wait 7 more months for Avengers Doomsday, I do like that things kind of are working out a little bit better as far as stories and characters are concerned. But go ahead, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Is this okay with you, or do you just really hate it? Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date on all the Marvel news, rumors, and leaks. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.